Happy Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. 10/12/22. Because I was thinking last night, I'm like, oh, it's going to be 11/11/22 next month. I was just thinking about the numbers. Speaking of next month, I was over the weekend. I was talking to there's a deer, didn't make it. Good thing the DigiByte didn't hit it. The DigiByte wouldn't make it. I was talking to at the event over the weekend. I was talking to Lisa and Charlie, Litecoin Lisa and her husband Charlie, about the upcoming eclipses. And I looked them up, and it looks like on the, I think it's the 25th of October, there's a partial solar eclipse. I think there's a full lunar eclipse on the 7th and the 8th, and I'm pretty sure that's election time, isn't it? Don't know. Almost feels like we're waiting for something to happen. You look at the crypto markets and just sitting there waiting, going sideways. And these are the times that you look at it and you say, oh man, is it ever going to do anything? I mean, maybe it's going to go to, Litecoin's going to go to 20 bucks. Is it ever going to be useful? Is it ever going to have any value? Did I make a mistake by putting my energy into this thing? And you really start to question yourselves at this time in the market. Now, if we're following the 4-year cycle, which a lot of people think, and we kind of are really, it's just that it's different. Like last time, we didn't have that massive blow off top in Bitcoin, but there's an argument that says Bitcoin's going to continue to flatten out, and the next all-time high might not even make $100,000. So, don't know. But the other coins will do better. We'll have to see what happens. If there is an event, though, that triggers, something, things can always overshoot or undershoot. You could be in a situation where there's a panic to get something outside of the system, and crypto would represent that for a lot of people, especially when you see your money just in the stock market. See, when there's a 5% down day in a stock market, they start to get worried. Crypto, you can go down 25% in a day, and we're kind of hardened to that. So why do we stay in it? Well, because the people who are in it really at this point are the true believers. What do I mean by that? The true believers who are done with the economic system, realize it's a failed experiment, know it's only a matter of time before the dollar collapses and is worthless. It's just how long is it going to be? And so have decided to position themselves into an asset class which will be useful for the future. And since everything's digital, what are you going to put your money into? A digital asset that has value. And that's why people are buying Litecoin, Bitcoin, Dogecoin even, DigiByte. I mean, these coins, they want to have skin in that new game, because really, what's the alternative? If the dollar is going to collapse, which it is through inflation, and it has been since its onset, if it's going to collapse and be worthless at some point, which it will, where do you want to put your money? Where do you want to put your energy? Because that's all money is. And I saw a good tweet by Master BTC, LTC BTC on Twitter, and it was, you can buy Litecoin now with your fiat money or with your dollars, or you can wait until later and it's going to cost you a lot more. And it will, because as the dollar loses value and starts to implode, it's going to take a lot of them to get that Litecoin that you can get now really cheap. So, yeah, it's frustrating. You look at it and say, man, it's 52 bucks for Litecoin, $52. And you think, it's worth far more than that. Well, yeah, it is. It's worth a heck of a lot more than that. But not until it's needed. And Bix Weir, his song, it's Litecoin is the right coin as a means of exchange. Litecoin will be there when it's needed as a means of exchange. Payment system. It's just not needed yet because the dollar still does work and we still are able to use it. It's the most liquid currency out there in the entire world. Everybody owns it. It's just, it is what it is. And until that stops, which you're seeing the unwinding process now, it's going to continue to be used. And those people who understand that, okay, it's got a limited life, it's not going to last forever, need to get into something else, those are the people who are the diehards into cryptocurrency. Those are the people who have said, a little fast there, son. Those are the people who have said, I'm out. And I can't go back. Like sometimes you see things and it's like you can't go back. You go down a rabbit hole and you realize, wait a minute, this is wrong. This doesn't represent truth. So I'm out. I cannot continue to participate in a vampire casino. Something that creates money out of nothing and creates malinvestments and is not fair, it's unjust, doesn't represent our energy properly. And once you realize that, you see that, and you know that, you're done. And you don't care. You want to get out of those as soon as you can. You want to get out of those and into real assets as soon as you can. Now, a real asset, yeah, it doesn't show its true value yet, like Litecoin, even Bitcoin. No, you're not seeing the true value of it, but you know over the long haul you will. Other real assets, food, water, shelter, maybe something, somewhere to grow some food, some gasoline, things you need, real assets. Now, if you can hold them, a lot of people can't hold those things, a lot of those things. You get what you can. If you don't have a well and you live in the city, maybe you stock up on a few cases of water, some gallons of water, the big, like at the office, like 4 or 5 gallon things of water. You do that kind of thing and just have that on hand, because if the water stops running, because whatever is down, whatever mechanical portion of the city is down, utility portion of the city, then you still have that water. That's like the number one, outside of oxygen, that's like the number one thing you need. If you don't have water, you die. Lisa and I were talking about a fast, because Amy Weir and Amy, they do a raw food reboot. Amy does that. She's got a website. I think it's rawfoodreboot.com, maybe 21. I'm not sure. I have to go to Road to Ruta. There's a link, roadtoruta.com, and then find the link to it. But I participated in the 9-day cleanse. It was a condensed version, and I'll tell you what, I felt a heck of a lot better afterwards. And you can go a long time. I've gone 21 days without eating solid food, like a liquid cleanse. And believe it or not, you don't die. You don't need as much as you think you need. See, most of the things are mental. You want to quit smoking? Just stop smoking. Yeah, your body, physical, but it's really mental. It's like, oh, I want to pick up that cigarette. I want to have one. You just become accustomed to that. So really, if you get your head straight and you want to do something, you just do it. You stop doing it. Paulie P, shout out to him. Quit smoking at the beginning of this year. Done. When you've got willpower, basically, if you want to do something bad enough, you can do it. Now, the thing with food is you find out, at some point you need to eat. As long as you're liquefied, your body's 3/4 water, so you have to have water. But food, what does it provide you really? Other than that warm, satisfactory feeling of, okay, at least there's something in my belly. But really you're after nutrients. I'm off on a tangent here. But, you go to a fast food restaurant and you get the big value meal and it's got, all these calories and all this fat in it. And not that much longer you're hungry again. Even though your belly's full, you're still hungry. Why? Because there's no nutritional value in that food. None. But if you're getting nutrients, say you're taking, nutritional, some vitamins and supplements like that, really, you're not that hungry. You're just mentally hungry. But your body isn't starving. It's getting the nutrients it needs. So if you can get those nutrients, in nutrient-dense foods, you don't need to eat that much. And if you're getting those nutrients, you really don't need to eat a lot at all. I can imagine a time what'll happen is it's like, yep, there's your daily pill. And then, you take it. And I mean, I can imagine, you got alien species out there that probably look at us and say, well, you still have to eat and digest and chew, and your body, your organs have to process all that food to get the nutrients. That's crazy. They can probably get the nutrients out of the air or touch the dirt or something, and it just absorbs into their skin. You know what I mean? You get to a point where you evolve, and it's like, think of the time you spend, well, what are we going to eat? What are we going to eat today? What should I eat today? And it's like, what a waste of time. I mean, it seems so just, it's ridiculous. But it's what we do. And then ultimately it comes down to, we're just seeking out nutrients. We're seeking out those things we need. And, it comes back to everything. It goes back to how I started this rant. What do you really need? I mean, what do you really need to survive? On a daily basis, what do you really need? Need water, need oxygen, might need people around you. Some people need people more than other people. But it's, those are things that aren't necessary, but are very helpful, because some people, when they're deprived of human interaction, they get messed up, and it changes the imbalances in their system and such. And other people are just like, just leave me alone. I just want to be left alone. Don't cause any drama in my life. I don't want any drama. If you're going to have drama, I'm going the other way. I'm out. I don't need this. Other people feed off the drama. That's what they need. They need that. They just need that swirling energy around them. Other people just like the sound of silence. So you discover what you need and put those things around you. Whether it be people, whether it be the food that you need to eat, the nutrients that you need to gather, the money that you need to have, the fuel that you must have, the energy source, all those things. You just take stock of it, and just really step back and say, what do I really need? What do I need? Make a list. Start checking it off. Like I said, I'm waiting. I'm kind of sensing that, there has to be some kind of catalyst. There has to be some kind of event at this point to steer the boat in one direction or the other. Because I think if you look at financially what's happening right now, if the Fed continues to raise interest rates, because we'll probably have another horrible inflation number come out, tomorrow, I think. If that's the case, they have to continue to raise rates, because their whole reasoning for raising rates is we have to stop and stamp down inflation. So they're going to raise rates again. You've got housing at 7% interest right now if you're going out to get a housing loan. It's killing the housing market. It's going to kill the automobile market too. Housing especially. Credit card debt, revolving debt, that just keeps going up now. And the thing is, the inflation, again, it's baked into the cake. They created the inflation with all the easy money. And now banks and the Federal Reserve. And now they want to stop it. It's like the arsonist. They go and start the fire, and then it's like, oh, we need some water. I'll bring some water over here to put out the fire we started. It's insanity. And that's how I started this whole thing. That's why some of us don't care what the price of Litecoin is, of Bitcoin, of any cryptocurrency right now. We really don't care, because we're holding it in our possession, and we know that they can't win this game. We know how they're going to react. They're going to have to print money. Look at the Bank of England. Here's a good example. They want to raise rates. The next thing you know, the debt, the bonds that the government issues spikes up. Nobody's buying them. What happens? The Bank of England comes back in and buys them. So the same thing will happen with the Federal Reserve. It's just we're the last one standing because, again, the dollar's so liquid around the world. So what'll happen is, and rates are really going up. You look at the bond yields, and the interest rates on it. As it goes up too high, and there's no one buying it, who's going to buy it? The Fed's going to be buying it. They'll be buying, funding it through whatever banks, and, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the Federal Reserve will just print Federal Reserve notes and buy that debt to keep it from getting out of control and to tamp it down. I mean, that's not solving any problems. You're just absorbing the debt. It's just Peter and Paul. It goes from one hand to the other. That's monetizing the debt. That's highly inflationary. And that's what they're doing. They're doing it already. They're just not telling you that they're doing it. But that's the situation you're in. You continue to raise rates, you kill the economy. Kill it. The alternative is you just, some event happens and, oh my gosh, we never saw that coming. We're just going to have to stimulate. We're going to have to send out checks again. We're going to have to do everything we can to liquefy, get some velocity of money going. And that's probably when they bring in your CBDC. It's like, okay, this is how we can get it. We'll put it in everybody's wallet so you can get it directly, and there's no friction to the money anymore, and very liquid, and it goes right into your account. Download this Fed app, whatever, however they're going to do it. And you don't think that it won't happen because you don't get your Social Security check and most of your pension checks and all that stuff right now in a paper check form, do you? No, you get it digitally. So we're already there in this digital world. So don't think that when they release the central bank digital currency and say, hey, you need to put it in this wallet, don't think that that can't happen very quickly, because we're really already there. But see, that gives them the ability to create the velocity of money, which they need desperately to get that money turning over and moving in the economy. It's like a transfusion of blood. You gotta have that blood moving. So what happens is, here's your CBDC account. They deposit money into it and say, all right, that's your money for the month. And you're like, all right, cool. I'm going to set a little bit back. No, get $1,000 for the month. I'm going to set back 100 of it, save it. No, you got to spend it all, because if you don't, it's like some of those gift cards that you buy that, okay, you get a $100 gift card, and then if you don't spend it in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is, 10%'s gone. Gets whacked off of it. Oh, now it's only $90. So they punish you for not using it because they want you to use it. And that's how they're going to create the velocity of money. They're going to put time limits on it to where that money has to move. You've got to do something with it. We need that back in the economy. We don't want a savory economy. We want money moving. And that's what happens. The savory economy is how you build wealth and build up capital so that the whole thing's broken is what it comes down to. The whole thing is broken. And that's what I say. You go down the rabbit hole, you cannot unsee it. And you start making changes accordingly. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to do this then. I don't care what it costs me right now, because what price can you put on having freedom money when you're in a system that doesn't allow freedom money, allow you to get it? In other words, what happens when you're locked into a CBDC system, a central bank digital currency system, and they're telling you how much you get a month and how much you have to spend a month, all of it, and they penalize you? How much would you rather be in Litecoin at that point on a network that runs by itself outside of that whole system? See, that's the thing. We've got the ability right now to opt out into an alternate system. It's like back in, 1600s, 1700s. You got people coming from Europe, coming from England, over here to the New World. Because they're like, I'm done with this system. I can't handle it anymore. I've seen enough. I'm out. Take the chance, take the risk, come over the seas, come over the Atlantic Ocean. And they land and they build a new life. And they're like, well, at least I'm free. At least I'm not under the tyranny of the crown. And then, the crown encroaches until pretty soon, that's it, I'm done. It's the same thing. We're building our own new system here. You start interfering with it, and we're going to disconnect from you permanently. And so that's kind of what's happening in cryptocurrency. It's like, I want to break free from all this. And I know you can go into it. The crown still supported, money went back and forth. But it's just an analogy of, at some point you say, I don't want to participate in the casino. I'm leaving it. I'm going somewhere else, and I'll take my chances, because I know, hey, there's resources over here. Hey, there's freedom over here. My energy is better spent over here, better rewarded over here. That's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before that's proven out. So, long rant, just have the things you need. Know what you need. That's more important than anything else. Know what you need and do it. And that all goes back to, you just got to trust yourself and know it. Know, just, take those moments of calm and know that, okay, I really need that. What's important? What are the things I'm going to need in this upcoming turmoil that may be here sooner than you think? And get them. I mean, that's just it. Get them. Use the energy you have and get it now. All right. Trust yourself. That's what you got to do. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Hope something resonated with you and something clicked. Hopefully it helps you, think differently, or, just trust yourself and listen to yourself. That's all the answers. That's the key here. All right. Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. I thank you for taking your time to watch this. I mean, you spent your energy here. All right. Love you all. Have a wonderful day.